Frank,
Hiya.
hiya. Is this going to be on YouTube? Because I have to watch it again.
Um, well, I don't have to put it on YouTube. I press record. I don't have to put it on YouTube, or I can
Well,
take it out.
can you give it to us?
Oh
Like,
yeah, of course, yeah. That's what
yeah.
I would. Well, that's why I recorded, so then to send
Thank,
it.
thank you.
Yeah.
My brain just started um, when you were talking. Um, so I've missed a lot. But
Good. Yeah. Good.
what I heard you say was, or I heard sound come out from a computer screen say that there is no me who knows that there's still stuckness in a me. There's just like,
Just
is
wholly and
that,
just wholly and completely what's appearing to happen and be
yeah.
described.
Like I always thought there was a me here who was still here, even though I know it never was here, and but it felt like it, and that constituted a me, that that energetic whatever constituted a me that was stuck, uh, and couldn't know anything else until it was gone.
Hmm.
But
Had to. Yeah. Yeah.
but you're saying that that's impossible for there to be a me who is stuck, because there's not a me at all, and there never could be.
It's just what's happening,
Just what's happening.
and just what's being described and felt, and if it, however that is. But there's no validation for anything. No mommy and daddy to tuck you in at night.
What?
There's no authority. There's no anybody go, oh, now it's over. Sure, what began and what's over. There's just what is. And it can't be known as, okay, I know that there's just what is. That's just a sentence coming out. Doesn't mean anything. So it won't ever be known. How can it be known then? Who could know? And nothing needs to be remembered, held on to, grasped, or, do I get it? Do I not get it? Sure, who can get anything?
I watched you and Kenneth having a mango salad with guitars
Oh yeah,
in
life
his
in free fall.
kitchen,
Yeah.
and I just sobbed at the end of it.
Mm.
Thank you for that.
Oh. Thank you. I'm just going to go back to the message that was there. Hearing that the me is an illusion makes the sense of me seem wrong. Yeah, it seems to be that it's kind of like linked to, am I doing it wrong? Am I doing it wrong, or am I doing it right? And that because I'm a me, it's bad. That then can be an idea. There's nothing good or bad. There's just what is. And then whatever descriptions appear about that, whatever judgments, then that is how it is. But, nothing good or bad about anything. There's just what's appearing to happen. And it's a total mystery, unfathomable mystery. And the idea of illusion is kind of, it still makes it seem then like it could be a real thing. It's not a real thing. And so then you would say, well, there is the illusion of me then. Well, there's definitely what's been described as that, if that's the case. But, if there, you give life to that by talking about something that doesn't exist. You already give life to it. You breathe life into it by saying, by mentioning and talking about the self. You give the impression, well, there is a self, and then there isn't a self. But it's too late, because you're talking about something that's not there. Now, what can be said is there's just what's appearing to happen, and however that is felt to be, then that is how it's felt to be, and that is the mystery.
Could you speak some more about how there's never been anyone anywhere? And how you know there, how, I know there's not a you that knows it, you know, like,
You see, it's not
yeah.
to do with knowing. It's totally nonsensical to say that there's been no one ever anywhere. But you could also say it's totally the currency, the way of the world is talking about I and me, and that's I'm in here. Uh, I'll accept that I can't do certain things like, you know, grow the nails, the hair, pump the blood through the veins, move the eyes, good eyes, bad eyes. I'll accept that. I'll accept to a certain extent that some feelings arise. Me will accept that. And yet, then it's definitely I am doing the thinking, and I feel like a me, right? So that is, if that's what's been described and felt as the real, then that's what's been described and felt as the real. But it seems to be that it's lost in the real, and words then are the real. So not a word is true. Not a word is real. And I don't know anything, but I don't know how I don't know. You see, it's so kind of and also there's a total meaninglessness behind I don't know. And it's just you see, you're talking about something that just doesn't exist at all, right? And then suddenly you have to bring it to life then by saying, well, is there me's in the past? You know, there never was a me.
There never was a me. So
There's just never
so
was a me. There's just what is. And then everything else is a story. And saying, worse still, saying there's just what is appears to make it then known as there's just what is. No, not that.
oh, you gotta have a sense of humor.
Well, you don't have to have anything.
Mm.
Amazingly.
I
You
do.
just
Yeah,
have
I do.
anything.
Nobody can have a sense of humor.
There's just sense of humor then. Or what's being
Maybe.
described as sense of humor. You can't do sense of humor. You know,
Mm.
it's so wonderful. Like laughter is just so fucking unbelievably wonderful. How could you do laughter? Laughter. How could you do tears, sorrow, joy, heartache, rip-roaring heartache? How could you do a tiny inch? And yet, everything. Unimaginable. Everything. And it's just fucking impossible. Like, what? It can't be known. It can't be held on to. It's this, like, it's that reaction there. It's the sound of this Irish voice, and it's everything. And totally ordinary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love that last part. It's just great. And it's just when what seems to appear, the self-consciousness, awareness that just owns everything that's happening. That's it.
Mm.
An energy that seems to be there, but it's not there, but it's that self-consciousness, awareness,
Mm.
noticing.
Bit of a story as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's just there's just what's happening. And then there's the naming of it, and the naming of it appears to then make it a thing apart called that.
Yeah, valid, real.
Yeah. That's and then that's the time machine kicks in and it's there. Well, I said that there, now I shouldn't have said that, or blah 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 blah. And all the while that I shouldn't have said that happening is kind of lost. Not lost, but it's that though. It'll never be held on to, thankfully, including the attempt to want to hold it, keep it. Whatever insight. God, I said a great sentence there now. What the fuck was that? Imagine how horrendous would this be if it was about going around saying and knowing there is nothing. God, I know that now. I need to remember. I need to remember how to say this right. I need to remember how to talk right and get it right. Get what right, like? Get what right? Nothing. This. So then it's just whatever is being described and felt and always, it's disappearing, collapsing, just unholdable to including that movement. This question, can you say something about awareness? It's just another story. Awareness, consciousness. It's this kind of attempt to ground this in some sort of reality and some sort of way of knowing that, oh, I have awareness, I am aware, and that equals awareness equals X, Y, Z, and plus it's like A plus B equals C, and there it is. It's just a story, awareness. This happening can't be held onto, and there's no word that will come close. But to me, I don't seem to ever mention the word awareness. It just seems like a total story, and it suggests an other than awareness of other, and it's always a way. If any word is held to be true, then it's a way to make this noble and safe. And then my awareness, and it's all so tight and held, and my consciousness, and expanding my consciousness and my awareness. Okay, then that's great. Good luck with that. You get 20 minutes or so out of that one. I need to improve my awareness now. Okay. So it's another way. Like, this is nowhere. This is the eternal. This is the timeless, as wondering what the timeless is. And this is nowhereness, wondering what awareness is. And nothing can be done about that, because that's just what's happening. It's not like that's good or bad. That's just then what is happening. But yeah, that can't. Anyway, yeah. Nothing is real.
Frank, could you say some more about real and unreal?
But so
Ex-
first, first of all, everything is just a word, and if words are objectified, then what can you do? But the real and unreal is a way to kind of go, well, you know, the table, or the sense of, it's whatever is being described and felt. So you can't, if somebody is going around saying, well, I feel like a me, then okay, well, that's what's being described and felt. You can't say, well, that you're wrong about that. Sure, who would know whether they're right or wrong about that? But there's also just the sensing that it's real and unreal, you know. So, but it's not a thing. Then there isn't a real thing called unreal, you know, or a real thing called real. Which is so. What can be said then? That. So it's just, they're just more words, and it's like everything. This is nothing as everything, but it won't be known as that. So it's just every word seems to kind of send, you know, create a new little rabbit hole to kind of dive down into, and then it's kind of extracting back out of that, and get, you know, it's lost in the idea of real and unreal. It's you can't hang your hat on any word to make this more noble. See, there isn't kind of safe ground then of, well, I know it to be real and unreal then. All right. I don't know it to be real or unreal or anything at all. There's another comment. There's just what's happening and awareness of what's happening, it seems. So there isn't awareness of what's happening. And saying there's just what's happening doesn't make it then knowable as a thing called there's just what's happening. There is nothing apart, including whatever is thought and felt. We could say this can then be described as, okay, this is the hearing of a voice, let's just say, with minimal words to be used. But that then doesn't make it, that's a naming of what's appearing to happen, but that doesn't then make it a knowable thing. So there isn't awareness, there isn't just what's happening, there isn't what can be said is then this is nothing then. But it won't be known as nothing. So then we could stay silent, but the problem with that is then that it's objectified as, oh, well, it's in the silence and whatever. And it's as everything. And so then seems to come out of this trapdoor is that there's just what's appearing to happen, however that is, whatever has been thought, felt, but it's not anyone's. And there isn't an awareness is another having for that which loves to have, my awareness of what's happening. I don't have an awareness of what's happening. I don't have anything. I don't have the sound of this voice. There's just the sound of this voice blabbering. Totally and utterly unknowable. Life is presenting, lifing, happening.
That's that immediacy, which is still its own story, but because there's no word for it.
Yeah.
But just that, whatever.
Yeah, it's the nameless. And then and saying the nameless kind of, I like it. This is the nameless, but it won't be known as the nameless.
Mm,
No word will capture this.
mm,
And yet, as words, as the hearing, uh, falling through as senses, as the sound of a voice, so totally ordinary. And you see that then can't be then the imaginations. Well, it can't be feeling a bit shit now. You're not talking about that now, Frank, eh? Well, that would be what it is. Yeah. It can't, it's not, you're not talking about pain though. And well, that would, if pain is being felt, then that's what's being described and felt then.
mm,
That's what is. It's izziness. And it's, yeah. It's amazing that there's this sort of description, communication happening. It's no one's. This is no one's. It's no one's anything. It's not like anything is being described here or explained. I mean,
mm.
you know, there is a lot of blabbering, but there's nothing being said or described. So this is no one's. No one's anywhere. No authority on nothing. Just there's some more motor mouthish than others. And you know, nothing needs to be said. Nothing needs to be volunteered. Sure, I'm down in the local tennis club in my all whites. What am I going to volunteer? You know, there's nothing to volunteer or say. It's just kind of amazing that, let's say, a conversation like this or sharing like this is happening, because in the normal story just doesn't happen.
Doesn't
And
happen.
yet it's the elephant in the room. Like the elephant is the room, as what's been felt, thought, heard, imagined. It says everything. And yet somehow, but obviously it's just what's happening though. It's just what is. It's not like, you know, people are, it's not good that we're not having this conversation. It's just how it is. This conversation just doesn't seem to be being had. This is where the crazies are here, this meeting. And yet what are we talking about? We're talking about talking. So immediately what is, and yet you'd be locked up really if this is, it would be.
Yeah.
You can't be taught what? You know.
Yeah, get the electric shock treatment.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah.
Just talking gobbledygook.
Yeah. It's crazy. That's crazy. It is crazy.
Better not put it on YouTube then.
Yeah, keep it off YouTube. It's too late. Yeah. So what is it you do? What is it you do with these meetings? Oh God. I don't do anything. Just what's happening is objectifying what's happening, and that's what's happening. In a way, the aberration is appearing to talk about this. That's what the kind of, because it can appear then that this can be talked about, and yet it is as the sound of a voice. It is as immediately as this, and nothing really is being described. It's so immediately flooding and falling away that it can't ever be known, including the attempt to know. So talking at all, having a website, holding a meeting, appearing to give a description at the start about this is the aberration, because it seems like then it could be known, can't be known. It's as whatever is felt, thought, imagined. The mind is trying to grab hold of something. Okay, that's yeah. In a way, it's kind of like the movement is trying to get something out of nothing. And it's, in a way, it's a kind of a bashing of the head And yes, it's just, it can be felt then that it's just the bashing of the head. It's just seeking. It's just what is that. That's a kind of a description, but that can be then just the mind's trying to, but there isn't even a brick wall, where it's banging the head. It's just wholly, totally as what is, as whatever is happening. I thought you were the brick wall. It's actually nothing like. You'd have a bruise at least. In a way, it's just, you could say then it can, that it can be exposed for just what it appears to be, because nothing is being, it's not being fed. And there isn't even a mind, it's just a dis-ease, but you can't do that. There isn't you and that, there's just that. So then without the stories, without the, nearly there and trying to get this, not get this, there's the imagination and held image that there's something to get. And yes, the horrible miracle and the wonderful miracle is that there's just that movement fully, just the seeking to get. And it's neither wrong nor right. It's just what is perhaps being described and felt. Just what is. In a way, this is so phenomenally unspecial. So phenomenally unspecial and ordinary, and exactly as what is, that the movement, the seeking can only be that. It can only be seeking until
And would you say that the seeking energy in that duality, because it feels so unworthy and all that kind of stuff, that then it's searching for that specialness? I mean, it's not a thought out thing, but it's just what seems to happen.
you see, in a way, like there isn't really a seeking energy or any kind of a reality. There's just what is and appearing to be described and felt. And then, you could tell a story as to why that the seeking is looking for something, not quite sure what that is, but not seeking, that's for sure. How would it be looking for seeking? And seeking can't find. Seeking is seeking until it's just not happening, or not what's being described and felt. So there's a gazillion different kind of ways to describe that energy, but it's not even a thing. It's not a thing apart. But there's there can be the naming of it as that, and like duality. There isn't duality. There's no thing,
and there's no person to seek.
There is no person. There's just seeking, or what is described then as seeking. So if what's being described is, well, I'm here seeking, okay, well, that's what's being described and felt then. And then if the seeking is gone, okay, right? And if the dog is barking, and if the wind blows, and the bins need to be put out, or whatever, that's just what's happening. And this can't be held on to. So it's actually as God, I thought I had it there. Imagine it's that. That's the, like, it is the discomfort. It is the seeking. Imagine, like, sure, that's not going to sell. It's just, it's the worst. It's the worst. Like, don't go telling me it's frustration. Okay, then I won't say a word about that. Then it's not frustration. It's just the pink stuff. The wise. It's just wisdom. It's not screwing up. It's not saying the wrong thing.
Can't sell it as a presidential speech, huh?
Well, you see, in a way, like it's so we're lost in the images of
the dream.
yeah, just lost in it. It's just amazing, like kings and queens and holy and wise. Like holy and wise seems to have a brand and a look. Do you ever notice? It's always kind of calm, a calm voice, and serene and big piercing eyes and good skin. Fuck's sake. Go on. Will you go on? You don't even know how to grow an eyelash and you know how to save the world. Enjoy that. Enjoy that dream. Enjoy. Fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not an inch.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, not an inch can be done. And yet there seems to be all the hoo-ha. Amazing.
Yeah. It's
amazing and terrible and horrendous and any word or and then after all that sitting on a chair, breathing, hearing, thinking, feeling, and whatever is being described and felt. No one's like.
It does cut through all the drama, doesn't it? Time and space and drama being this immediate, direct.
Yeah, it seems to include the bit of drama.
It
has everything. So, but it's descriptive, but it's the stickiness, you could say. But then that can include stickiness. It's just it's
everything.
It's everything, yeah. And nothing can be held on to. But things can appear to be being held on to, let's just say. But yeah, what can be said then?
But the communications in this kind of meeting is less drama than other kinds.
It seems to kind of return to, so this is no one's communication, but it seems to return to the immediacy of just what's appearing to happen, however that is. And so then if something is being described and felt, that's what is. It's not like that there's anyone in there that can be fixed or changed or improved or helped. This is it's like I was going to put on the website, this is the no helpline. Because like, who's in there to help, and who would be here that doesn't know how to help? So it's all just a story of held. I know now what you need. All right, great. It's all just imaginations and feeding, and one feeding the other, and they go round and round and round and making each other feel great. Thanks a mil for that. Thank you. Go on, will you? Just, it's free. There's no games. So you could say this communication that is no one's communication, this sharing or this happening is no one's. Doesn't belong to anyone. But sure, it'd have to be something then. She could trademark it then. Trademark nothing. Yeah. Good luck with that too. Yeah. Amazing. Just you can't get to the bottom of nothing.
No.
And yes, it is as trying to get to the bottom of nothing. It's free to be however it appears to be being. including constraint or yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. So we might break for lunch. I know some of you are jumping off or whatever. I suppose you know, nothing needs to be remembered or held on to, or there's nothing that needs understanding or you know, but there's just this izziness, however that is. So yeah, thank you if you're heading off to bed or wherever you might be going.
Yeah. Thanks, Frank. It's been great.
Thanks
so
for
much.
nothing, Frank.
Aha!
Everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Beautiful, Frank. Thank
Great.
you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.